Boys and girls, yes, welcome back to Formula 4. Better late than never. As I always say, yes, we are at the Netherlands, Zandvoort, and I hope you can join us. Yes, a cracking one so far. We've just joined late in at the end of Q2, and have a look at this. Droftas is on top of that tree with a 1 minute 8.614 on the softs. You got Aylin starting on the mediums, of course. These guys have already warmed up, ready to go, and a little bit late, like I did say, and I do apologise, but yes, we are here, so we'll just wait for this timing screen to count down and we'll fire this one up. Fantastic. Oh, turn that one down. Now, while we have got you guys here, we will go through this running order in the championship table, of course. Now, that has been a bit of a change since, well, not a change, but a lead of 6 points. Infamous Pillars currently does enjoy over Aylin. On 277 points is the Amigo. We do have Aylin on a 271, and Denj is there on 258, and Mr. Droftas, yes, on 249 points. So we'll just go through that. So you got Droftas on a 1 minute 8.614, Sloth on a 1 minute 8.644, only 300ths. What a bloody Q2. Unfortunately, like I did say, we did miss it. But you've got Denj, Aylin, Infamous Pillars, Chazza, Mateo, Sean, all shot down, and Bannister all through to a Q3 session, which is fantastic. We will lose Xerxes, Bloomstar, Chewy, Necro Car, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. And yes, I was watching that Q2 session and did see Total P's. Well, an uncharacteristic mistake. Lost it on that sweeping right-hander, which I do believe is turn number 7, and yeah, a little bit wide, spun the back end, and wow, in the wall, lost the front wheel, and unfortunate from the lad, of course. Yeah, and Denj is up there fighting for the championship in 3rd position, and well, they were talking about being a bit of a wingman during the week, and well, unfortunately, yeah, Total Peace has got his work cut out for him, so not too sure what's happening with the weather. I'm just going to bring this stream up, guys, while I've got you. Make sure everything's okay. Fantastic. We are all good to go. Dry race. Thank you very, 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 very much, X. Much appreciated. We'll just get to who just come out of the garage first. It looks like 2 MTV cars. It is Chazza and Infamous Pillars, of course. So yes, well, there you go. Chazza moves over, and Pillars loves to set a good first early banking lap. And let's just watch our championship leader, of course, Team MTV. And fantastic to see them. Like I said, they're always consistent, these lads. I tell you what, if you guys are a fan of us down here at Formula 4, these lads are so consistent. I tell you, the top 10 Q3, you can almost certainly put your money on that those 3 lads will be in there nearly every session, and it's fantastic to see. Of course, Infamous Pillars leading this championship, as we did touch on before, only by 6 points, but he is leading, and he's got, well, like I said, 2 great teammates in Chazza and I Am Sloth. Of course, all these teams and all these guys in this league are fantastic drivers, fantastic racers, and fantastic people, of course. And yes, it's great to see competitive racing, nice clean wheel to wheel. But we are watching Infamous Pillars, and well, Sector 1, what a great corner that is, of course. This has 14 turns here at Zandvoort, 10 right, 4 left. The track length is 4.259 kilometres. In a full Grand Prix distance, these lads would be doing 306.648 kilometres, as in a track distance length in total. They do half Grand Prix distance here, so roughly around about 153.3 Ks these guys will be doing in distance. Yes, like I did say, this track did open up in 1948 while we're watching Pillars go purple, purple, purple. This is a cracking lap from the lad. Like I said, Q3, these guys will just, everyone will go out, they'll set their laps, and they'll go into the garage, and we'll go again as they always do in a Q3 session. But this is looking nice and tidy from Pillars. He's coming around that last corner now, rear wing wide open. There it is there. He crosses the line right about now. He sets a 1 minute 8.604. Chazza behind him was at 1 minute 8.929, followed by, well, is that All Shot Down just starting a lap? And we do have Andenge. Andenge crosses the line now. He sets a 1 minute 8.813. What a lap these lads. They're coming in thick and fast. I Am Sloth is starting a lap right about now. We do have, is that Matteo? No, it is teammate Aylin. Aylin with a 1 minute 8.8772. So, and Sean will be next, thick and fast, guys. 109.725. Fantastic laps. These guys are coming in thick and fast, and we've just jumped right into the hot seat here. But Matteo sets a 1 minute 9.471. Fantastic in Team Nintendo, and that is a great lap from the lad. Wow, have a look at that. Of course, these guys will go again. They'll all go back into the garage, put a whole brand new set of softs on, and like I did say, they will go again. We've got I Am Sloth. Is he furthest along? No, he's not. All Shot Down will be. So yes, All Shot Down is just entering the, finishing the second sector now, and probably one of the most hardest braking points in the, on this track most definitely. So this track is very quick. It's very similar to Austria. Nice, tight, quick track. And it does, I was going to say reward, but it does punish an error. Of course, these walls, they look like they're far away, but I tell you what, at the speed that these lads will be doing, any sort of error where the car goes on you, it's almost certainly good night. So, All Shot Down, that is not a lap from him. He would want to do better than that. That's a 118.5. Excuse me, I Am Sloth. Same thing with a 1 minute 11. We've got Droftas currently out there on an out lap, and Bannister yet to see him, so... like I did say, it's going to quieten down a little bit now. We'll just stay with Droftas, of course. Position 4 in the driver's standings. He drives for, pot 1 driver, JCB, Team JCB, of course. And yes, Droftas, the new Portonian, as Gio would like to say. Hard on the brakes now, turn 1, that sweeping right hand. A fantastic corner, this one, as it just opens up as Droftas gets on the throttle. Nice and smooth, you'd want to be through here. Clipping apexes. Of course, you put too much power down there, the rear end tends to go on you. But no, Droftas has got that very, very nicely done. Coming towards... excuse me, turn 5, turn 6, he's at turn 7 now. There it is there, that sweeping right-hander. That's exactly where P's lost it, but Droftas does not make that mistake. He's clipping apexes, he's right on the raggedy edge. This guy can absolutely send it. And we are watching and enjoying this Q3 lap from Mr. Droftas. He is about to enter the sector, the third sector right about, in a couple of seconds. We'll just see if this track map's going to light up purple. It certainly does. He is on it, Mr. Droftas. He's coming excuse me, he's coming around turn 12 now, approaching turn 13. These corners do have names, but they are all in Dutch, and I don't know the pronunciation. Turn 14, there he is, rear wing wide open. He's taking the shortest line to the finish line. He sets a 1 minute 8.799 P2 for Droftas. That is a great lap. We've got Bannister out there on an out lap, trying not to take too much life out of those tyres. He's going to start his lap right about now, and we're going to focus on the guys on the bottom end. Of course, excuse me, these guys will all do their first run, as we have touched on, and then they will put it in the pit lane, of course, and then go again at the very end of this session while this track is at optimum. But yes, Bannister in P10 at the moment, like I did say, yet to set a time. And this sector here, this first sector, is a fantastic sector. I mean, last season we didn't get to enjoy the real F1 cars go around this track, but of yesteryear, I mean, the track layout is completely different. There's a lot of banking in today's track, obviously, and yesterday those banking was not. Well, they were there, but nowhere near as pronounced, of course. And yes, we are watching Bannister, as I did touch on. He's, towards the end of Sector 2. The DRS zone, there it is there. Rear wing wide open. He is approaching the hardest braking zone on the circuit. Clipping apexes beautifully. This corner here is very, very tricky. You touch that sausage curb, that back end tends to go on you, and we do see in race conditions that tend to happen a lot. And this one here as well, you got to be careful there as well. Those sausage curbs are absolutely savage in unsettling the car. But Bannister is on the start-finish straight. He sets a 1 minute 9.487. P7, what a lap from the lad. That is fantastic to see. P7 from Bannister. And we've got Andenge is still out on track. Is he on a lap? Is he? He certainly is on a lap. And, there you go. He's almost exactly the same as where he's... Whoa, when he's gone wide. Andenge's gone wide. And he's going to have to abort that one. That is unfortunate from the lad. We will go to... Is Droftas? No, that is not Droftas. It is... Excuse me, Bannister probably going back to the pit lane after setting his lap. And, like I did say, if you have a look at that pit lane, all the lads are still sitting in there. We do have 4 minutes remaining. There is plenty of time. These guys are only doing, well, these guys are phenomenally doing 1 minute 8, 1 minute 9s, and yeah, Sloth won't be happy with that 1 minute 11. I dare say that was just a banker lap, because the juicy part of Q3 is the very end of the session. And as we'll get on a bit of history about this track too, guys, like I did say, this track did open up in 1948, post-World War II, if you believe it or not. Now, I tell you what, all the guys that were the mechanics for the aircraft and stuff like that, they needed something to do. They were all nutters, speed freaks, and they loved all that stuff, gearheads and whatever you want to call them. And it was fantastic. And yeah, they needed something to do. So this track was created. The Dutch Automobile Racing Club was created, and yeah, for the enthusiasm of, well, basically give them something to do, and they were building race cars and testing their limits to extreme levels. So really interesting to see what they were doing back then. If you look at old photos or old footage or stuff like that, I mean, even the safety gear, I mean, leather caps and phenomenal, absolutely crazy. But we are in 2021. We won't touch too much on history. These lads have got helmets these days, proper safety stuff, and yeah, all shot down. Team BMW, of course, he is currently out on track. He's kind of a lonesome little lad. He's got the whole track to himself. He's going to get a bit of airtime. He's all shot down because we need something to look at. And there he is there. Mr. Team BMW, I tell you what, he is the only BMW driver, team member to be in the Q3 session, of course. You've got even Andenge in Team Jaguar. Sorry, guys, I'm only just noticing this. The eyes are finally adjusted, and here we go. So Andenge is the only Jaguar lad, Team Jaguar lad, to be in the top 10 in the Q3. That is, wow, that is, of course, we did see, well, you didn't see, but I did see, unfortunately, Total Peas was out of the Q2 session, made an uncharacteristic error, which is, and Denger's almost right-hand man, to be fair. Of course, this season, Peas come in a little bit late. He's a little bit behind in the championship, and Denger's right up there fighting. I think he's position 3 or... yeah, position 3 in the championship, as we did touch on. All shot down, got that a little bit wrong there, didn't he? He's clipped that grass, got that line all wrong, and we've got Ramsel in the chat. What did he just say? Sorry, I just missed that comment, mate. Oi, 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 he goes. Team BMW rule. Yes, well, there you go. Well, all shot down is the only one in there at the moment, and let's just see what he can do. He's on a lap. No, he's going to abort that one, of course. We did see him go wide, and yeah, he's nowhere near that time. He's turned, like we did say, he's turned everything down. Banking up that ERS again, of course. We have 1.5 minutes remaining in this session, guys. Let's just see who else is out there. I am Sloth, he's on an outlap. All the lads have come out, but they're all on outlaps, of course. The furthest one along is, I do believe, is that? No, it is not. It may be Infamous Pillars. It certainly is Infamous Pillars, so he'll be the next one to... well, he's preparing his car right now, and all these guys, they're not taking the life out of the tyres. They're very nice and easy on the corners, trying to prepare and save those softs for this one ultimate flying lap. But yes, this corner must be fantastic to witness in real life. Of course, we look forward to seeing that in real life this season. But right now, we are at Formula 4, and yes, we are watching our championship leader, Infamous Pillars, about to start. Well, he started his lap. He's in the first sector right now, clipping apexes, and this will be his final run. All these lads' final run. Look at all those outlaps. They're going to come thick and fast. They're just preparing, getting the space. Don't want dirty air at hit this track. Dirty air at any track is absolutely savage, and especially in this game. But at the same time, you want a clean track, of course. This is Q3. We're at the very, very pointy end of Q3, coming towards the end of this fantastic season of Formula 4. I do believe there is 5 or 4 rounds after this one remaining. And, well, yes, we are watching our championship leader. You're going to see this trap... Well, you're not going to see this trap man, but possibly, but he just went purple in that first sector. He's approaching the end of the second sector. Now, let's just see what Pillars does. He has... Well, have a look at that. He's 3/10 up on his previous best time. He's purple and purple sectors 1 and 2. He's coming around turn 4. Well, that is turn 13, guys. This is turn 14, and turn 14 is a fantastic banked right-hander, and he's about to set his last set of 1 minute 8.421. He lost a little bit of time in that last sector. It was only 1.5 tenths up. Behind him is Aylin, and he is invalidated. So that is Aylin's session done. And then, excuse me. Then next is Bannister. No, Bannister's done. He's staying in the pit lane. Excuse me, guys. It is Droftas. I do apologise. Droftas goes P1 with an 1 minute 8.339. That is a fantastic lap. I'm going to miss a couple here. Chazza does a 1 minute 8.425. Next will be... Excuse me, Sean. Oh, I missed that lap. Wow. I am so sorry, guys. But yes, they were coming in thick and fast. They were really quick. It is a short lap, of course. And I do apologise for missing some of those laps. But yeah, that was a rapid Q3 session. And have a look at that Droftas with a 1 minute 8.339. P10 in Bannister is a 1 minute 9.486. Only 1.1 seconds off pole position. That is a close Q3 session. Fantastic. Pillars, our championship leader, nearly grabbing pole there with a 800th off Droftas's time. Have a look at Chaz's time. The Geordie Juggernaut P3, only 4 thousandths off infamous Pillars. The Pot 1 drivers pole, P2 time, and I Am Sloth having a fantastic session. Good to see him back up there. Look at that, Team MTV, P2, 3 and 4. Holy moly. Well, there you go. If Pillars ever needed a brick wall behind him, I think he's certainly got one. We are talking in the championship standings, of course. Pillars is leading this one by 6 points. We are counting down. Well, not counting down because, of course, we don't want this season to end. The action is phenomenal, but we are certainly coming towards the end of it. And like I did say, I think there's 5 rounds remaining after this one. And, Pillars leads by 6 points, and he's got a fantastic wall behind him in Team MTV and Chazza and I Am Sloth. And, let's just see if the other lads... I've got something to say about this. We've got Ramsell in the chat saying that was a warm-up lap. Sorry, mate, I missed what you said there. And yes, MTV, certainly, mate. Yes, they are doing phenomenal. So we're just waiting for these lads to load up into this game. We've got a formation lap, of course. I do believe it is going to be a dry race. I think it's 36 laps or 39 laps around here at Zandvoort. Excuse me. And yeah, looking forward to seeing these guys. I mean, this is, like I did say, a tight, twisty track. It is extremely quick. We're yet to see these new cars in real life around here, of course. And cannot wait for that to happen. And hopefully that gets underway this season. This season, 2021. Hard to believe we are already approaching, we're approaching April, aren't we? It's unbelievable. But yes, we will not talk about all that sort of stuff. We'll go to the tyres for you guys. We'll put all these telemetries on and we'll go through this running order, of course. Yes, Droftas trying to make amends for a couple of round missed Grand Prix. Of course, that was probably over a month ago now. And he is trying to make a fight back, and he's put the car exactly where he wants it. P1. Infamous Pillars, P2. He is our championship leader, of course. And have a look, we did touch on many times. Oh, Pillars goes a bit wide on the grass. That's a bit strange from Infamous Pillars. But yes, we've got Chazza. Excuse me, in P3, there he is, the Geordie Juggernaut, as I like to call him. Team MTV, fantastic. I Am Sloth, there he is there in P4. And Denge is fighting for this championship. And look at that wall of cars he has to contend with. He doesn't have to contend with, not only that, they are all teammates. And Denge has got a job and a half to do here. He's in Team Jaguar in P5. Alan, there he is there. He's also fighting for this championship. Team Nintendo, P6, Mr. Alan is. And then we've got Sean, the newest kid on the block. There he is there in P7, all shot down. Team BMW, warming up those tyres, trying to put that heat into those softs. Mateo there, P9. Team Nintendo, and Bannister is P10. Team Jaguars, Xerxes, Team MTV, there he is in P11. Free tyre choice, and he opted for the softs. We've got Bloomstar, I do believe he is a reserve on the mediums. Chewy is there in Team Nintendo, there he is there. On the mediums, of course. Necro Car is a reserve. He is, the white livery there, so that's the reserve livery, I do believe, in P14 on the medium. Total Ps, the man who is out of position in P15, Team Jaguar in, there you go, P15, that's crazy. And to see him so far down the order, look forward to seeing him come through this field. We've got Jake Lee in Team Nintendo in P16, Bubba Riley, JCB, P17, Ramsell, there he is, P18, Just Mikey in P19, and of course LPE rounds out this field for Team Jaguar in P20. So we are waiting for the lights, and there they are. We have 2, 3, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. We have some revs. And we are underway here at Zandvoort. Fantastic start by Droftas, but it looks like Pillars is going to get him. What a launch off the line by infamous Pillars, and there you go. Chaz is trying to send it. Chaz is trying to send it on the inside of Droftas. So far, so good. Very, very good. All clean. Everyone is, well, there you go. Droftas has been into P2. Infamous Pillars is exactly what he wants. He's on the medium. Excuse me, guys. On the medium. P1, if you don't mind. Droftas P2, Chaz a P3, and Danger's moved up. He's got rid of one Team MTV. What a start. That's exactly what he wanted. He has Chazza in his sights next. I Am Sloth will be next. There he is there. He's been dropped to P5. Sean is in P6 and Aylin in P7. So Sean is trying to get into this as well to give Droftas a bit of a chop out. Mateo, the two Team Nintendos. Well, there you go. P7 and P8 all shot down, and Total Peas has got himself into that last point position into P10. What a start from him. Half a lap. He's already gained 5 positions. That is fantastic. We've got Bloomstar in P12. Having a look at Xerxes in P11. Well, what a move there by Total Peas. I can't believe he's already got 5 places up on his starting grid. Excuse me. We've got Bannister there in P13. Team JCB. Necrocar, there he is. There he's tucked in behind Bannister. There is no DRS, of course, at the moment. That will be enabled, I believe, in lap 3. I'm not too sure what happened to LPE. He's struggling a little bit. He's got maybe damage. I do believe he's going to put that in the pit lane. I'm not too sure if he's got a... Well, there you go. His front wing. Don't know what happened to him, but he has a damaged front wing. That is unfortunate. We've lost Droftas. We've lost Droftas. What's happened? We have a sector yellow. There is Droftas. Oh, no. We've lost Droftas. We have a virtual safety car. There you go, guys. These curbs... Like we touched on in that Q3 session, you get too early, too hard on the power too early, especially there. Holy moly, there you go. That is Droftas out. Wow. Uncharacteristic mistake from the Newportonian, but must have lit up the rears there. I'm not too sure what has happened. We did miss that on stream, of course. But yes, big name, Droftas. The first one to DNF in this session. This race, lap 2 of 36. A long, long way to go. We are under virtual safety car, and wow, that is... That's a bit different, but anyway, we digress. Infamous Pillars leads this one. Chazza is in P2, and these two Team MTV lads are on the mediums. They are on the mediums, of course. They are going to go a hell of a lot longer than the guys on the softs. But Andenge is going to try to capitalise on this restart. Pillars is bolted. Andenge is tucked up behind Chazza. And let's just see if Andenge, with the stickier tyres, see if he can get this done under braking. Is he going to tuck out? Let's just see what he does. No, he's not. Team Jaguar. He tucks in. He's thinking long term here. He has a championship to fight for. Chazza is putting that car perfectly where he needs it. He does know that Andenge is on the soft. So is I Am Sloth. So I Am Sloth is just pressuring Andenge as well. This is lighting up to Team MTV's liking, excuse me, as we have just been joined by the Newportonian Droftas. Droftas, we did miss that on stream, mate. Unfortunate, you are already out of this session. That is unfortunate, mate.
Yeah, connection issues more than anything. I don't think.
Okay, yes, you did say that.
I was seeing on my screen happened on somebody else's screen, so.
Oh.
Anyway, I thought I'd jump in and give you a hand, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Yes, it's an early o'clock here, Droftas, and yes, me trying to fire up this morning was a bit tough. But yeah, I do appreciate you coming in and giving us a chop out, mate. But we are watching this one here, Formula 4, Zandvoort here at excuse me, the Netherlands. Infamous Pillars, our championship leader. Well, he'd be loving this, having Chazza there sitting in P2. Of course, Total Peas. I cannot believe it. Total Peas in that Q2 session, Droftas. Got it all wrong. Turn 7. Got it wide, lit the rears up, and bang into the wall. Off came a wheel, and he was out. P15. He started this one, and have a look at him now. He's in P7.
Yeah, he's just made a move on Matty and Mateo into turn 1. Nice move. He's on the medium compound as well, so he'd be looking for just to gain as many places as he can against these soft guys.
Yes,
he's
mate,
one to
definitely.
watch. I think he'd be powering up there. His teammate's doing alright as well in P3 and the other Jag.
Yes, yes, so. He certainly is. I mean, he had a wall of Team MTV cars in front of him, and he's already gotten rid of Sloth on lap 1, off the line. Fantastic launch that he got. Same with Pillars. Pillars got a great launch as well. And, yeah, well... And Denge has got one Team MTV car out of the way. He's got another 2 to get ahead of, or catch and get ahead of in Chazza and Infamous Pillars, of course. But your Pot 2 driver, TTG Sean, in P5. So he's doing his bit there for Team JCB.
He is, yeah. Someone's got to carry the flag because I couldn't.
That's unfortunate, mate. Very, very unfortunate,
LP's
of course.
Just lost it on the left-hand bank. That could be a safety car.
Yeah,
it is a
certainly,
safety car.
yeah.
There we go, early safety car. It'd be interesting now as we're on lap 5. These hards will go to the end, so I wonder if anyone will jump on them from the softs.
Yeah, well, that's interesting
to the end
to
of
see.
The race from here.
We're just going to jump on board with Infamous Pillars here. Let's just see if we can pick up LPE. There he is there. So, well, he must have lit up those rears and, well, as we do know, the car tends to throw you around if that does happen. And, yeah, unfortunate for him in the wall. Lost the wheel, and he is our second DNF of the session. Of course, we are speaking with, and Droftas has jumped in the commentary box to give me a hand. And Mr. Droftas and LPE are out of this race. We have a safety car. We are on lap 5 of 36. We've touched on the top 3. Let's go. P4, I Am Sloth in Team MTV. Sean, Team JCB. Aylin, the lead Team Nintendo car, of course. This lad here is also fighting for the championship. Total Peas is doing his bit. He certainly is doing his bit. Started on the grid, P15. He's into P7, Droftas. Phenomenal start by that lad. Mateo, Team Nintendo. There he is there, P8, all shot down. Well, the only Team BMW lad to be in the top 10. He is sitting in P9 at the moment. Fantastic effort from him to be there, and yeah, ahead of Chewy, of course, Team Nintendo. That is our top 10. We've got just Mikey as a reserve doing his bit. He is in P11. We've got Bubba Riley, Team JCB. There he is there in P12. We've got Xerxes, Team MTV in P13. Bloomstar is another reserve, I do believe. There he is there in P14. We've got Bannister in P15, Droftas, Team JCB, and Ramsell in Team BMW, excuse me, in P16. Probably standing up, driving this one, if you do know Ramsell, as he's a funny lad. He's in a hotel room at the moment on a connection that he's not too happy with, but he's doing a fantastic job in P16. We've got Necro Car in P17, of course, a reserve, and Jake Lee, Team Nintendo, rounds this one out, P18.
Yeah, I've just watched Pillars has just boxed. He's now in P6. An interesting one for me. He's gone on to a new set of mediums. So he's obviously looking for medium soft till the end. But yeah, it's a strange call for me. For a guy to be leading the race around a track like this, Chaz has done the same and followed him in. So he's lost to Sandenge, who now leads the race, and Aylin in P2. But
it's changed up a bit. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, you're exactly right there. We did miss that. Thanks. Great spot there, Droftas. And yeah, Infamous Pillars. That is a very strange move considering how tight this track is and how difficult it is to pass. There's really only a couple of passing opportunities here. And well, I mean, yeah, our championship leader chancing his ability to try to use the optimum medium compound tyre, the stickiness of them, the fresh medium tyre, of course. These guys, we're on lap 6. No one's pitted except for those, well, the rest of them have, but the leaders haven't. The ones that he is fighting for in this championship certainly have not. And track position is almost certainly everything here, of course. Like I did touch on, extremely difficult to get by here. We'll just see when is this safety car. Is this safety car in this lap? It certainly is. And I think we're going to get a restart here very, very soon, mate. And, well, and Denge leads this one. And Denge just bolted. He's tried to catch Aylin sleeping, but Aylin was all on it. And have a look at Total Peas. P3 is going to send it into turn 1. He certainly is. What a restart by Total Peas. This lad has had a great start to the Grand Prix. A great restart there. It is Team Jaguar. What a turnaround. P1 and P2 in Denge and Total Peas. And we were talking about in that qualifying session that these lads were talking about being a wingman for Denge. Total Peas was anyway, and have a look at it. P1, P2, that is exactly what they wanted. Aylin into P3, he's up there in that championship Team Nintendo. Infamous Pillars at that restart has got to P4, and look at that, Chewy has just made a move on all shot down. Fantastic.
I was just on board with that. Pillars and all shot down went side by side, and the camera cut away at the wrong time because it looked like they were side by side going 2 into 1. And obviously all shot he saved the car, but it looked like he almost lost it into a wall, so he's lost positions because of that, but he's done really well to keep that out of a wall there.
Very, very well there. Great car control there. And as we see, Bubba Riley always had to stamp on the brakes there, and he's going to lose a position. He certainly is. Mateo takes that inside line, and that is P11, P12. Bannister, his teammate, is all over the back here. And we're looking at Necrocar. He's having a look at Xerxes here around that last corner. There they are there. All know he's gone a little bit wide. Xerxes hugging that inside line, of course. Necrocar on the soft, so they should get by him. Xerxes on that hard compound tyre. As we quickly go back up to the top of the tree, as yeah, the gaps have opened up a little bit. Chewy is trying to get, well, I think all shot down, excuse me, is all over the back of Chewy here, Droftas. And let's not forget Chazza. Chazza is there and thereabouts, of course. Infamous Pillars, well, there you go. We did touch on our championship leader. P4 at the moment, of course. He did put that fresh medium compound on, and it's almost damage limitations from there, mate. His championship rivals are in front of him. And, of course, he's in front of them on the championship standings by 6 points. But, yeah, well, not too bad at all. So it might have been a calculated move, Droft.
Yeah, he would have been thinking about it definitely when he did it. Obviously, it's brand new mediums compared to the guys that have bought. Well, they've got 7 race laps on these mediums. Never mind the 2 or 3 they had setting a lap to get into the race on the same tyres. So he's on a lot fresher tyres than them. But if there's another safety car in this race, then it's a gamble that might not work. But I think the ones to watch are Sean and Sloth going onto those hards so early. They will make the race, and obviously they've not used then their soft compounds for the end of the race.
Yeah, exactly.
Sloth just made a move on the final corner around the outside of Sean. It's a great move, but that's one to watch because Sloth, Sean and Mateo are very close. They
certainly are, and of course Mateo enjoying the softer version of the harder style of the tyre compound on the medium. And I think we've just seen a move there. Sloth got him back. Sloth got him back. I think it was Sloth, or is that Chewy and Chazza? No, it's Chewy and Chazza. Chazza got by Chewy. Fantastic move. I just seen that in the distance, and I did miss that on camera slightly. I do apologise. But yes, Chazza into P6, Chewy, Team Nintendo P7, and I am Sloth, as you touched on, Droftas, followed closely by Sean. Those two lads on that hard compound, they will go to the end, but do you think they will start to die towards the end of this one, Droftas, or they'll have plenty of life left?
I think the hard compound will probably be fine towards the end, sort of late 60-70%, which obviously they would have lost a lot of their pace, but they still feel comfortable because the hards never really feel any different. Obviously, if you've got a set of mediums near the end and they've died out, then they just feel like it's skating on ice.
Of course, yes.
But, I'm just wondering whether Andenge's tyres will start to die now because Pease is all over the back of him. I think we could be seeing Pease go for P1 here.
He certainly is. There you go. Great spot, Droftas. And there you go. Pease on the inside of Andenge's teammate, Team Jaguar. Swapping positions, P1 and P2 for those two boys. Andenge is tucked in behind on the softs. Now, we're starting to see these soft compounds starting to die off, Droftas. Maybe getting towards the end of their lifespan. And, of course, well, look at the medium runners. P1, P3, P4 and P5. They dominate that top end of this tree, of course, at this stage of the Grand Prix on lap 10 of 36.
Yeah, some action going on with Necrocar and Barbara O'Reilly. It's a good move from Necrocar, obviously, on the fresher softs, and Barbara O'Reilly's medium tyres. What interests me with this soft tyre, going back to what we just said, says somebody's just lost Jake Lee is sideways. He's got out the way of just Mikey. Good respect there for him. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether the soft runners will try and extend the softs and go soft medium, or whether they just bolt on a brand new set of hards till the end, because it's around the next 2 laps we should see the soft guys coming in.
Exactly, I think so. All one we're seeing, was watching there, Sean, Mateo, Bannister, and Chewy. And Chewy, well, I think it was Mateo there, got the back end, and then Chewy's taken that position. Sean is into P8. The Team Nintendos are working side by side. I'm not too sure what's happened there. I think someone's got it a bit wrong. Mateo got, might have been Chewy there. Chewy's got a little bit wrong. On course on 10-lap old mediums, Mateo into P9, Sean into P8, and I am Sloth, as we touched on, in P7, of course. That's where the closeness is. We've also got Bubba Riley and Xerxes going at it. They've been going at it all Grand Prix, guys, towards the bottom end of this one. And Bubba Riley is looking at the back of Necrocar as well. So that's P14, 15 and 16. We are seeing a move on track. I think that was Bannister and Chewy. Yes, it certainly was. Bannister got that move done before turn 7, of course. That is a fantastic place. Well, it's a scary place to make an overtake move, but he's made that stick drop dash, and that has moved him up into, well, there you go, P9, P10 and P11. And have a look at Ramsell. He's moved up as well. P12, fantastic from that guy in Team BMW, of course.
On Andenge. Pillars has basically pushed Andenge around this whole lap. Those softs have died, and Pillars he's all over the back of him like a shark with knees.
Fantastic analogy. But yes, well, you are right. And yeah, Pillars, that calculated move.
He's not going to make the move. He's not made it. He's not made it stick. And Andenge must have some serious straight line speed, because he is pushing him around that track.
He certainly is.
Andenge can act as a blocker for Pease, because obviously Pease being on the older tyre of the two. Bannister's just made a move on shot. Chewy's got him back. We got 4 cars in the space of about half a second.
Yes, we certainly do. Yeah, we certainly do, mate. And that, well, have a look at them. Look at them battling for that last points position, of course. Every single championship point is so vital towards the end of the season. And this one is cracking up to be an absolute ring-a-ding-ding, and we've got 1/10 between 3 cars here at the moment, Droftas. Have a look at them. That is unbelievable. That is turn 7, probably the most riskiest corner on this track. We do see, well, you get it wrong, it punishes you, and that's probably a fantastic thing. The real drivers absolutely love it because, well, of course, they've seen it, they haven't driven on it, but they've all reports and all quotes, they think it's absolutely awesome, and they cannot wait to get on this one. Of course, it does punish a mistake, and that is exactly what they love to see in real life. They don't like to see that big runoff area. They like the punishment for the mistake. So anyway, we will move up, and as Pillars takes P2 because Anne Denge did box. He's getting rid of that soft compound Droftas, and I think they are at the end of their life, mate.
The hards. He's going on to the hards. So he will have to make the move on Sean and Sloth. He'll be on 6-lap pressure, and obviously he's moving pretty quick right now because he was up in P1 P2. But he's just fed right back into this battle for 10th place, so that's really unlucky for him because he's got a lot of work to do now.
He certainly has, mate. He's slotted into P12, and he's got Bloomstar in front of him, of course. And then you've got Ramster, so he's got a fair bit of work to do, Droftas. And of course, we do know how tight this track is. Coming out into traffic's always the gamble when you're the first one to blink. And, well, you're trying to find that gap. And of course, you don't have an engineer in the game to tell, well, you do, but he's not that great of working out stuff like that. So it's all about sort of quick maths and see where you can feed out into that gap. But he's fed out into P12, a monumental task to, well, work his way through all of that traffic to make sure he keeps that lap time because, of course, Total P's infamous Pillars will know that this is the time where they've got to actually push. They know that Anne Denge is down. If they want to start to take control of this Grand Prix, we're on lap 14 of 36. Haven't quite reached halfway distance, but this is where it lights up, of course. This is where you see the longevity of what these strategic options these guys have decided to do, and the Grand Prix actually come into its own. It's almost like a book and you get to the juicy part of it. But yes, we are watching Total P's infamous Pillars. There is 6 seconds between those two. We've got Aylin there in P3, 1.1 seconds. The gaps have sort of settled down after that safety car restart, Droftas. Chazza is in P4 and I am Sloth in P5. Mate, I tell you what, Team MTV doing a phenomenal job. Sean there, your right-hand man, Pot 2 driver, TTG Sean in P6, Team JCB. The two Team Nintendos working together, well, a little bit apart, but yes, P7 is Mateo and Chewy is P8. We do have a bit of a train here, and we're seeing a move. I think Ramsell and Denge is trying to find his way back, and Denge is in P11. He's got past Bloomstar, and he's looking at the back of Ramsell here. Ramsell, they're entering Sector 3, and there you go, hard on the brakes, and that is job done, and Denge into P10 dropped.
Yeah, he did exactly the same move the lap before on Bloom. He's looked at that move twice now in 2 laps and made places. So let's just see if he can get DRS off the back of Bannister, which he will get. Be interesting to see if he can close up, because the gap is between, as Mateo's just past Sean. Matty's just in Sean. They're side by side, Mateo and Sean, into Sector 1.
Wow, there you go. Well, there you go. Sean's got him back. So yeah, Sean, I think they've just swapped a little bit under the braking zone. So.
Yeah, this seems to be the closest battle on track, bar Andenge's push up through. Obviously, that's not for net race position because the guys ahead of Andenge all have to pit. But these two, obviously, slightly different strategies, but they both fighting hard for this the turn 1 there. Sorry, mate, I got distracted by
You're right, mate, not a problem.
Further on.
You're right, mate, not a problem, not a problem. So yeah, and Denge is trying to get by Bannister right about now. There you go. He doesn't want no damage. He's got to play the safe option, of course. He does not want to get any. He's fighting for this championship, Droftas. This has got to be as careful as you like it, but still be as aggressive to force them to get the move made. And of course, these guys are not going to give him a position, not going to give him an easy run, because they know their battles. But at the same time, it's for position on track. Some of the guys are out of sync with the pit stops, of course. We did have an early safety car, but yeah, you are right. TT BTG Sean in P6 and Mateo P7. That is, well, in the top end, that is the most certainly closest battle on track. And Denge, as we did touch on, will be trying to make his way through this field as quickly as possible. First one of the leaders to blink and looking to go to the end of the Grand Prix on that hard compound tyre. Lap 16 to 36, mate. And, well, the big movers, we'll just get to that position change for you guys, just to see who's moved as much, well, in this Grand Prix as the next lad. And, oh, hang on a minute, that is penalties, I do apologise. There you go, total P's up 14 positions. Did start this one in P15, and fantastic stuff from him, as we touched on many times. But there you go, Ramsell up 7 positions. He, well, except for total P's, excuse me, is the next biggest gainer in P11, up 7 places. He started this one in P18, and unfortunately we have lost LPE, and we are speaking with Droftas, the 2 unfortunate DNFs, of course. Droftas with connection issues, and LPE, unfortunate error. I think it was turn 4, lit up the rears on that left-hand banking corner, and around he went into the wall. Unfortunate from him. But yes, this one has started to settle a little bit, Droft.
Yeah, we've got Andenge on Chewy. If he can pass Chewy, he gets clean air, because the next car is a good 6 seconds up the road. Chewy boxes, makes it very easy for him.
Yeah,
so we'll see if Andenge can now make use of those fresher hard tyres and close the gap a little bit to the guys in front that are going to be boxing him.
Exactly, mate. We've got Mateo starting to pressure Sean. Sean's on the slower tyre, but they're going to go longer, a hell of a lot longer, excuse me. We'll just see. But Mateo will definitely have to stop again. Sean will, well, you did touch on that before. He will go to the end, if I did read that correctly. And yeah, they will be a little bit slow towards the end, but this is a cracking battle on track. Of course, P6 and P7. We do have also, All Shot Down is having a look at Bubba Riley. We have a yellow, or hang on a minute, we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1, Turn 1, and that looks like, I'm not too sure who that is. I know it's someone exiting the pit lane.
Yeah, just Mikey. He's, I think he's just spun it. It doesn't appear to be any damage on the car. So I think it's just a spin, so no safety car, no VSC, to carry on as normal. He's just... lost quite a lot of time there off Necrocar, the guy he was chasing.
Yeah, unfortunate from the lad. But yeah, Ramsell's looking to get some points here. He is pushing that team BMW, and Bloomstar there is doing a fantastic job in P10. The closest battle on track is still Sean and Mateo. There they are there. Only 7 tenths between these guys. All Shot Down, excuse me, is having a good look at Bubba Riley on the start-finish straight. Bubba Riley is trying to break that slipstream, excuse me. And All Shot Down around the outside. Is he going to make this stick? No, he's... Well, have a look at this. They are side by side. And, whoa, they've touched. They've touched. They have touched a little bit of...
They've both lost end plates.
Yeah, they certainly did.
Lost a bit of end plate there as well. So both of those will be coming in.
They certainly will, mate. They both had... They both had their elbows out, and that is unfortunate from those lads. But you couldn't really see. Yes, exactly right. We will not commentate on that. We'll leave that for the stewards, of course. But yes, and Denge is up into P8. He's trying to make this work. This first guy to blink of the leaders on the pit stop. He's in P8, and Mateo there, P7, and Sean, they are still going at it, Droftas. Only 5 tenths between them. Have a look at it.
Yeah, you can't separate these two today,
Nope.
Mateo and Sean. But while these two have been battling, and Denge has closed the gap to a second. He was over 6 seconds behind these two. He's just about to go to less than 5. So he is on the charge. I'm just looking at the gap to the leaders, and if I can find it. And Denge is still lapping faster than anybody else. Well, Peas and Pillars. They're in league of their own at the moment. Obviously, Peas on a lot older tyres, so we expect to see him come in first. But I think Pillars is going to have to do this on track.
Yeah, you're probably right there, Droftas, of course. There's 1.3 seconds. They've been, well, there you go. Pillars has put the foot down. He's just gone purple in the second sector. But they have created a bit of a gap. That, like you did say, they have the class of the field of this one at the moment today here at Zandvoort. Total P's and Infamous Pillars. There is a bit of a gap there to Aylin. And, well, he won't mind that, to be fair. And you've also got Chazza there as well on fresher medium tyres, of course. Pillars and Chazza. Both pitted. They followed each other into the pit lane. They were, of course, protecting each other. They were P1 and P2 at that point. They boxed very, very early, and we started scratching our heads wondering what they were doing. But yes, of course, who am I to question? These lads know exactly what they're doing. And Infamous Pillars on fresher medium, starting to reel that gap in. Aylin has boxed.
And he's boxing. He's going on the hards as well, so...
He's thinking the longevity.
These guys to go hard.
Yeah.
You know, there's only 16 laps left. I would have expected him to try and extend and maybe go softs, but those mediums must be dying.
You're probably right
So
there, mate.
he's going to feed out just in front of Andenge, so that could be a good battle for one to watch because Andenge's tyres will already be optimal, and he'll be looking to try and get within another 3/10 of Aylan because then he's got DRS. So that could be the rest of the race with these two.
I think you are right there, mate. But while you were chatting away, we were watching Sean and Matteo got really close again. He was nearly there and got the job done. They flicked around again, just briefly dropped us in that braking zone, I think in turn 3, excuse me. And yeah, well, Sean is still ahead, of course. These guys have been battling out lap after lap after lap. It is the closest battle on track, of course. There's only 7/10 between them. And this has been going on. I dare say this is going to be one that we're going to enjoy for the whole 36, and of course, well, maybe not because Sean will go to the end, but Matteo will need to box. He's on 13 lap-old mediums, 21 of 36. They are not going to make it to the end there, mate. And yeah, well, they're going to break up at some point. But at the moment, we're enjoying this cracking battle because it's tick for tat in the lap department.
It is, yeah, and I've just worked out that Andenge and Aylan being so close, 1.4 seconds, that makes this pit stop about 18 seconds long if he got it right. And looking at the gap to the leader, Matteo is 18.5 beyond Pease, so that's where we're looking at feeding out. If Pease can get another second, he will come out ahead of Sean, who's on the hards, but he will have to pass Sloth, who is Pillars' teammate. So we can see some team orders, we're holding him up there.
Exactly.
Pillars is in the DRS now, so Pease is due a pit stop.
Well, there you go. This one is starting to fire up, guys. This is where, well, the juicy part of this Grand Prix is starting to unfold, and Pillars knows exactly what he's doing. Like you did say, he's in DRS zone now, mate. He is on the hunt, and this is where he's going to make or break it. So Pillars does, Pease does box, excuse me. He has thrown it in the pit lane. You can see him there, and infamous Pillars takes the lead of this Grand Prix. Chazza, well, there you go. He will inherit the second position, and there you go. Team MTV, P1, 2, and let's just see where Sloth is as Pease leaves the garage. Is Sloth going to get this done? It's going to be very, very close. Pease exit the pit lane. Oh, it's going to be very, very close. Have a look at this. I am Sloth. Yes, he's just got ahead of Total Pease. Wow. Have a look at that drop us. P1, 2, 3, Team MTV. Total Pease, he has come out into 4th position. And, well, he's on that fresh, soft. I dare say I am Sloth. He's going to disperse very quickly, but he still has to tuck in. There is no place to pass here. Unfortunate. It will end in tears. He's going to take a risk.
No, he's not.
I was going to say, Josh, if he takes that.
I think we'll see him do it there.
Yeah, mate, definitely. He was having a look. He's trying to put Sloth.
Yeah,
he's trying to make
traction around the
outside. Yeah, look at that. There you go. With what a move.
Those fresh tyres.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, definitely. The drive he has out of from those sticky softs, I dare say Chazza, he is going to reel in no time. These guys are going to start to think, well, how many laps have we got? 13 laps to go. Infamous Pillars will have to box again. Chazza will have to box again. So maybe Pease has read this one right, but I might say, mate, those softs are going to be dead towards the end of this Grand Prix. But I digress. And Denge is trying to go through this grid. Of course, he boxed early. He's on 8 lap-old hards. He's looking at Bannister. It is 5/10 of a second off. There's this Aylan and Matteo swap under braking zone into turn 1. And that may have been team orders as Aylan is in the hunt for this title as well. And well, Bannister unfortunately gets a penalty for pit lane infringements. But yes, Aylan is in P6. Sean is next on the list. Sean is on 16 lap-old hards. They are going to be very, very slow. Same with Iron Sloth, as you do see Total Pease already put 1.6 seconds as we are seeing Chewy and Bannister. Bannister exits the pit lane. Chewy just gets in front of him. And there you go. That is P12 and 13, of course, as Just Mikey is looking at the back of Bubba Riley still. These guys have been having a great battle all Grand Prix, albeit towards the end, but it doesn't matter. It's still close battling, and it is fantastic to watch. And we are watching Bubba Riley and Just Mikey. That is Peace.
Pillars is just boxed.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. Pillars is just boxed. Sorry. I didn't know. There you go. Pillars is boxed. There he is there. And, well, Chazza, his teammate in Team MTV, will take the lead of this Grand Prix. And who was that? That's Jakey's. Jakey's just lost at the rear end on turn 1. He has gone around. We have a yellow flag in Sector 1, guys. Jakey got it a little bit wrong, spun the back of the car. And, yes, we'll keep going. Chazza in the lead. Total Pease on that fresh, soft tyre. Pillars only 2.6 behind him. And, well, on 1 lap fresher soft compound, of course. Sloth is there in P4. There he is there on those 17 lap old hards. And they must be starting to feel the pinch of that wear now, right about now, I would say, Droftas. 17 laps on the hards around this tight, twisty track is a very difficult run indeed. But we've got Sean on the same length of tyres in P5. Aylin is in P3. Fantastic to see him there and thereabouts. Of course, Team Nintendo with Mateo, and Denge is not making too much ingrounds here, Droft. He's in P8, and well, I mean, maybe it was a little bit of a wrong call to go that early to put the hards on, and well, he's in P8 and hasn't made too much of an impact after that pit stop. Bloomstar, fantastic effort from this lad. The reserve driver, he's in P9. Unbelievable. Great start from him. And Xerxes is in the points, P10 on 17 lap old hards. These guys, well, I dare say they're going to pit. Well, would you pit again, Droftas? They could go to the end, couldn't they?
No, I think the hard guys will go to the end. Touching back on what you said about Andenge and it not working, he was right on the back of Aylin and lost it coming onto the Sector 2. So he lost 10 seconds in a couple of positions there, which he's made back. But yeah, that's where his time went. He spammed the car.
That's my bad. I missed
we
that.
were on board with some other. No, we were on board with some other exciting stuff at the same time. I just noticed the yellow dot on the map spinning round.
Yeah.
What's interesting here is, I think, looking at this, and MTV could easily get a double podium here because Chaz is going to be coming out on the softs. As I think that may be Jake Lee that's Hispanic. No, it's Chewy. Chewy's lost an end play. He's on the exit of the pit there. I'm not sure what's happened, whether it's contact or whether it's all on his own. But was facing the wrong way, and he's going to have the box for a new set of tyres and a new wing.
But have a look at this, Droftas. P16, P17. Bubba Riley, he's gone deep. Bubba Riley went way deep. And Just Mikey says, thank you very much. That is P16. Bubba Riley, unfortunate, made that little bit of an error. We've just seen that move for position. Of course, Ramsell, Team BMW, in P13 and 14. Ramsell is on that fresh, soft compound tyre, trying to make the most of it. But all shot down will go to the end. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3. Is that Andenge? Is that Andenge going slow? It is a little bit. I think he's made another error there, Droftas.
It was again, because Xerxes has got past him.
He certainly has, and there you go.
Both got past him again, so...
Wow, that has Andenge into P10, and that's not going to help his championship push any iota. But yeah, Xerxes into P9. Well, as the guys start to pit, there you go. You're going to see this order change a little bit, so...
4 MTV cars in the top 8 places.
They've had a phenomenal Grand Prix
for them.
Oh, mate. The team lately it's been team consistency, if I may say so. These guys there are always in the top 10. Well, usually always in the top 10. They're always pretty close together in race conditions on track, and they do well. It's a team sport, and they play by the rules, and they play as a great team. And of course, Infamous Pillars leading this championship. This championship push. Of course, I am Sloth there. Total P's. Let's not forget Total P's. He started this Grand Prix. Well, just as this is sort of settling a little bit, he started this Grand Prix in P15. This man did here. He is in first position, if you don't mind.
Sean for 5th. Easy move for Chazza. He's up to 5th. Sorry for interrupting you there. Chazza's the one to watch. He's the guy on softs. The two ahead of him are now on hard tyres. One on 20 lap old, and Aylin's only, a second and a half up the road for Chazza.
Exactly.
So Chazza is on for a P3 if he can keep it tight and keep putting those laps in. Bannister gets another penalty, 3 seconds. Corner cut, and I imagine.
I would dare say so there, Joff, but yeah, sorry, mate.
It looks like P's is opening the car up a little bit here. Him and Pillars have both got no ERS left, so they're both pushing like crazy. They're both pushing,
right now. Yeah. I think they're trying to optimise that tyre life, the optimum tyre life in that soft compound, but they'd want to be careful. Of course, you've got Aylin sitting there in P4. He will go to the very end. You've got I Am Sloth. He's going to be slow towards the end of this one on 20-lap old hards, if you don't mind. Aylin, like we did touch on just before, 6-lap old hards. He's got fresher, harder the compound than Sloth. Let's just see if he can make some inroads. We have 8 laps remaining here, guys. We've got Chazza, as Droftas has touched on. He's the one to watch. He's reeled in that gap to Aylin there, He's looking for that slipstream. Is he going to send it? He's just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 1 minute 10.253. So we are seeing the Geordie juggernaut turned the wick up in Team MTV. He is hunting Aylin in Team Nintendo, and he's trying to be the ultimate, well, pardon the pun, the ultimate wingman for his championship leader teammate in Infamous Pillars. Aylin is not going to give this up. He is not going to give this up. He's going to make this as difficult as possible, of course, in the hunt for this championship push. TTG Sean doing his bit in P5, but we are staying with Chazza and Aylin. And yeah, there you go. We are just seeing Mateo. Is that Mateo or is that Chewy in the background? He's a lapped car, unfortunately. But oh, there you go. Chazza is having a good look. He is hunting Aylin Droftas. He's trying to make himself real big in Aylin's mirrors, trying to force him into a mistake here.
Yeah, I think you just probably hang on now till that main straight. He's got the traction coming out the final corner. Those tyres are 1 lap old, so
yeah.
He should on those softs get with the DRS. He's got plenty of ERS left, pump it all up, and I imagine should be P3 by turn 1. But Aylin won't give it up easy.
He certainly won't give it up easy, mate. There you go. You've seen, there you go, the Geordie Juggernaut pulls out of that slipstream and under braking using that fresh, softer compound. Well, there you go. I think that's job done. But they are side by side into turn 4. It's not done yet. Have a look at Aylin hanging on that. That's a fantastic defensive move. And he stays in front of Chazza. Now, Chazza has to tuck in. I tell you what, there is no place to pass here. If you do, it's a very risky move. It puts both drivers at risk. Chazza would know this, and he stays behind Aylin. He's biding his time here, and that's the thing with Zandvoort Droftas. It is not as if, oh, it's a big open track. This is a very tight, twisty track. There really only are a couple of places to pass that are quite safe to do so, and the rest, I mean, he's behind on a quicker tyre, of course. He's just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and he's stuck behind Aylin, and there's only 2 places where he can really make amends, and, well, if you don't get it done, it's another lap, isn't it?
It is. I've just watched while we've been on board with those two. Sloth is boxed for a new set of softs, and so is Sean. So those mediums obviously are, those hards are obviously struggling. But it'd be interesting to see if Bloom and Xerxes stay on those.
Yeah.
That's 23 and 22 laps, 6 laps left. You know, I don't think it's worth them giving up the positions for us. And Denge on Bloom in the same place again. I think that's about the 5th move Denge has made into that corner tonight.
Yeah, he's done a great job trying to make amends, but of course, we didn't quite see it, but he made it, trying to fight his way back, of course, through the field after that pit stop. Made a little bit of an error, lost a whole heap of time, but back up into P8.
Chaz has just got it done into P3, round the outside on the left-hand bank corner. Great move, actually, but Chaz are into P3, and he should drive away.
Sorry, guys, we did miss that. I did miss that. I do apologise. But yes, you are right. Droftas, Chazza into P3, and I think that's job done. That is Grand Prix done. He will be there and hold that position. He will try to catch up as close as he possibly can to his teammate, but he'll just be there for his teammate. That is a fantastic result at the moment. Infamous Pillars and Chazza, P2 and 3. Let's not forget Peas. Peas has had a great race. He is there, and he's made this Grand Prix all on his lonesome, and that is phenomenal to say considering this man started in P15, and I'm going to keep bringing that up because that is a drive and a half. Team Jaguar, total P's, P1, Infamous Pillars P2, Chazza P3, as we did touch on. Aylin has given that place, well, he hasn't given it up easy. Not without a fight, of course, but that is P4 for Mr. Aylin, Team Nintendo. I Am Sloth will reel in Aylin now, I dare say, mate, on that fresh, soft compound. There is 8.8 seconds. Let's just keep an eye on the gaps. There is 5 laps remaining, and if Sloth, well, I dare say, well, he's not going to, well, I'm not going to say he's not, but I'm not going to say he will either, but yeah, he's going to try to hunt that gap, but it's a monumental task. Sean is there in P6, and Mateo, he's had a great Grand Prix as well. Mateo, P7 he is on, the 4-lap old softs. These guys will go to the end as and Denge is still in P8. He is looking at the back of Mateo. He's trying to make amends. He's pushing and pushing and pushing, and yeah, we'll just see if he can get by. Of course, it's going to be a monumental task. Mateo on that fresh compound. He might just be the head of that train that's behind him of that hard runners that will try to make that to the end of the Grand Prix in Bloomstar and Xerxes. Bannister is just outside the points in P11. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2, and I'm not too sure who that is, Droftas. That might be
Jake. It's Jake again. He's lost the end plate. It's unfortunate for him. He's to be fair to him, he's just turned traction control off and he's gone manual gears. So,
oh well, there you go.
Obviously, a new pot 4 to the league, but he's done well to keep it out of the walls today. Well, not out of the walls completely, but he's done well to not DNF the car. So,
exactly, mate.
Points. Everybody scores points, so he's going to get some. As
Definitely
long as he gets that car over the line.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you are a player of Formula 1 2020, this game here in particular, and you start to get to that stage where you're turning all these assists off, it is extremely difficult. Throw in some new gear as well, like a wheel or some whatever it might be, and I'll tell you what, it's a backward step before it's a forward step, and it's just it's a time thing with Formula 1, of course, and we applaud progress, and that is fantastic that he's making that next step, the all-important, tricky step of turning everything off, and you master it, you gain a lot of lap time, but the process is the process, and we applaud that effort, of course, here at Formula 4. But we have settled here finally at the Netherlands in Zandvoort. This has been a cracking Grand Prix. We have got Total P's, Infamous Pillars, Chazza, Aylin, I Am Sloth are the top 5. Then we've got TTG Sean, P6 Mateo, fantastic Grand Prix from him, and Denge in P8. Bloomstar, the reserve, holding his own there, Droftas. P9, and Xerxes wants him. Xerxes hunting him. He's turned the wick up here. We're on lap 33. Oh, as Bloomstar, well, he takes a massively wide line. Gets it on the grass a little bit, but that's okay. No harm, no foul. But Xerxes will see this, and it'll just fire him up even more so, trying to make himself all big in Bloomstar's mirrors, trying to make and force the error here, Droftas.
Yeah, and Bloomstar's got the fuel light on too, so obviously he can't push as hard as Xerxes can. Both of these guys are on 26 and 27 lap old hards, so credit to these for getting these tyres as far as they have and being both in the top 10.
Exactly,
really,
mate.
Really good tyre.
Unbelievable.
On both of them.
Unbelievable tyre management. Like, I mean, they, like you did touch on before, it must be like driving on ice. But yes, they've managed to do it. That is a phenomenal effort from these two in the final points position places, of course. We have settled here. We do have, well, the gaps. The closest battle on track is Andenge and Mateo. Andenge still in P8. Mateo there is in P7. Of course, Team Nintendo, he's on 6 lap old softs. As Pillars has got that gap down to 1.6 seconds now, Droftas.
This is
on
where
11.
the softs start to die. 11,
Yeah.
11, 12 laps is where the guys come in for their pits. So Pillars is only going to have a couple of corners to do it because he's not going to get in the DRS at the end of this lap, which will give him a lap and a half pretty much. So I think 3 DRS zones if he can keep closing the rate he is.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Let's just keep an eye on those interval times, of course. It is now 1.4 seconds. Well, 1.3. Well, there you go, guys. We're not going to count it down, but you're going to see that as you are at home. And Pillars is on the hunt on 2-lap fresher soft compounds. Let's just see if he can make amends. Well, not make amends, but make the most of it. And look at the gap now. It's 1.2 seconds, Droftas. So he is hunting. Xerxes is all over the back of Bloomstar still. This is for the last points position. Xerxes is in P10. Bloomstar is in P9, fighting for his life on these two on those lengthy, old, hard compound tyres. This is tyre attrition at its best here at Formula 4. Bloomstar and Xerxes doing a phenomenal job there in P9 and P10. Unbelievable.
Very, very good battling from both of them. The tyre management. Who's off there? That's Andenge again. Yeah, Andenge is backwards, so this is now a battle for P8.
There you go.
For the 3rd time today has lost that car.
That's unfortunate.
It doesn't look like he's got any damage, so I imagine on 7-lap old softs, I think he could be on the back of these if he's got enough time. He's got 2 laps, but Pillars is almost there. Pillars is 1.1 behind.
He certainly is. He can see him. He's hunting him. He's got the grip between the teeth. There's our championship leader, and there is Total P's. We are on board with Infamous Pillars. He has just broke into that all-important DRS zone. He's going to get, well, he's got to still catch him and yet get by him.
He's got the straight to go because he's got 2 DRS zones where he can do this. There's nowhere to pass other than that. So he's got turn 1 and the section they've just got through, which is very unlikely when you're similar place. So I don't think he's going to be close enough. I think it's 1 lap too late. Because these guys are starting the final lap now.
They certainly are, mate. We're going to stay on board with this lead battle. This is P1 and P2. Total P's versus Infamous Pillars. Team Jaguar versus Team MTV. And have a look. Pillars has caught a phenomenal chunk of time in a space of a couple of laps. We are on the final lap as Total P's can see. And, well, he would be feeling the pressure of Infamous Pillars now. He is certainly on the hunt. Pillars is all over Total P's on this last lap, Droftas. It is 0.6 of a second Pillars is pushing like crazy. He's, dirty air around here. He's at turn 7 now. He's coming up to the next DRS zone, well and truly inside that, the detection zone, of course. And, breaking point now, this sweeping right-hander as Pease is trying to make his car nice and wide, hitting those apexes, not giving up anything too easy. This is a battle for the lead on the last lap of this fantastic Grand Prix. Pillars and Pease is 3.5 tenths off us. We are into sector 3. Both clipping apexes. Pillars trying to force the error. Ooh, he touched that soft curb, that sausage curb, and I thought he was going to lose it. He knew it. That is it. It's done it. It's done it. Pillars concedes. Or has he conceded? No, I think he has. He's still giving it a go, but I think that is it. That is it. So Pease, what a Grand Prix from 15th to 1st. P1, what an effort, what a drive from Team Jaguar. Infamous Pillars, our championship leader. P2, Chazza, the Geordie Juggernaut, will cross the line in P3. Fantastic. Aylin, P4 for Team Nintendo. I Am Sloth will finally get there in Team MTV. What an effort from these 3 gentlemen.
With the fastest lap too for Sloth. Fastest lap goes to Sloth too.
There you go.
Great drive from the 3 of them. And
Sloth
Xerxes
got the
is a
fastest
if
lap.
you can keep it said, they're still going. Xerxes and Bloom.
Yes, they are. P8, P9. There you go. Bloomstar. Xerxes did get by Bloomstar, and unfortunately we did miss that. But yeah, there you go. Fantastic. Bloomstar will be P9. Xerxes is going to cross the line in P8 on 29 lap old hards. Bloomstar P9, 31 lap old hards. Bannister gets that final point for Team JCB in P2. Oh, no, he doesn't. All shot down. Jumps in for Team BMW into P10. Obviously, must have been some time penalties there. And we'll go through the rest of the timing screens in a little minute. But yeah, what a Grand Prix. Well, there was a little bit of a lull there for a good probably 5 or 6 laps. But I mean, I tell you what, there was action-packed throughout that whole one. We saw passes galore, guys trying to do a different aggressive strategy in Andenge. And, well, I tell you what, lads, unbelievable racing. But we'll just wait for this timing screen, of course, as Total Peas will be spraying the champagne. And we do hope that tastes good. There he is there, walking like an Egyptian is the man, and fantastic drive from him. P15 to P1, there he is there, holding that trophy, and fantastic drive. P2, Infamous Pillars, of course, and P3 was Chazza, and fantastic Grand Prix, as we'll wait for this timing screen to come up. We'll run through the order for you, and we'll get these boys in for a drive interview. Oh, they've all joined anyway, which is fantastic. But there you go, Total Peas with a leads this won this one over to Infamous Pillars by 3.5 tenths of a second, guys, if you don't mind. Chazza P3 as we touched on, but 4th place for Team Nintendo is Aylin. I Am Sloth, as Droftas touched on, got the fastest lap of this Grand Prix with a 1 minute 10.210. And there you go, you've got Sean there in P6, Mateo, Xerxes, Bloomstar, and all shot down, got that last point position. Just missing out was Bannister, unfortunately from him. Yes, I think he got jumped there at the very end on time penalties. Ramsell, great Grand Prix from him in P12, and Denge, fantastic in P13. Unfortunately, made a couple of uncharacteristic errors on an aggressive strategy, and well, there you go there in P13. Necrocar, P14, Bubba Riley, P15, just Mikey and Chewy, that's 16 and 17. Jake Lee, LPE, and unfortunately we did lose LPE and Droftas early doors. So we have got the drivers in for an interview. Is Chazza in the interview box? I'm not too sure. Chazza. We've got all 3, fantastic. Sorry guys, we've got all 3 guys here in the commentary box, and we'll go to the Geordie Juggernaut, Team MTV, that is Chazza. Congratulations, what a drive. You and Pillars, unbelievable Grand Prix, and it all panned out the way you liked it, mate. P3, podium, welcome to the commentary box, well done.
Yeah, thank you, it was a good race. Aylin kept me nervous towards the end, being quite close to me. My softs did die out towards the end, he was getting close, I got a bit nervous, but I pulled through and got P3.
Fantastic. And of course, your teammate there, Infamous Pillars, the Pot 1 driver leading this championship, and that has helped him big time. Of course, his championship rivals is a little bit further down the grid today, but you were a fantastic wingman. Same with I Am Sloth, your teammate. Team MTV really working together as a great team, always there and thereabouts, and all credit to you. And yeah, fantastic drive on your P3, mate. Well done.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
No drama. So we go to our championship leader in Infamous Pillars, Amigo. Well, I'll tell you what, mate, what a race that was. You must have had the grip between the teeth towards the end of that one, hunting Total P's, but left it a little bit too late, if I say so, mate. But, well, it's all about the championship at the end of the day. Another points gain, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, safe to say that I bottled it in the stadium section the last lap. I lost the back end, or probably it could have been a lot closer, but I needed his tyres to die. Well, I needed his tyres to be more dead the lap before, and then I probably would have had him on the last lap. But I mean, Chazza and Sloth and Big Xerxes, the God King. I mean, all three of them did really well today. So I mean, Chazza and Sloth doing bits to keep Aylin a further place down well. So I mean, all helps.
Exactly, mate, exactly. And just keeping a lid on it by the sounds of it there, Phil's not getting too excited that you've just stretched your championship lead.
I've got a question for Pillars. Why the medium to medium in the first safety car? Why did you box under those? My
mediums are 20% already, and I saw the gaps like on the delta on the left hand side, and I was thinking, well, worst case I'll come out like 8th-ish and just kind of work my way through. But luckily, obviously, I came out I think P6, something like that. So, and I didn't want to stay out because of like the pace I had on those fresh mediums at the start was really good. So, I just didn't like the percentage wear on them. I just thought if I boxed, then I might be able to hunt P's. But obviously, Andenge played a really good wingman role in it. So,
fair enough, mate. And I think that was the difference. I think P's staying out on his mediums won him that race, and that's a safety car. You got the track position and
the gap on the last lap.
That was the difference.
Starting the last lap, the gap was exactly the same as when he boxed. So I think it did, but I looked at it, I was like, I've been through this before.
It was a great drive from both anyway. Well, from all three, it was a great drive.
Definitely.
Good watch too.
100%.
So well done for the three of you.
100%. Very, very, very good and entertaining Grand Prix to watch. But, well, I'll tell you what, Droftas, P15 to P1, what a drive. Probably definitely the driver of the day. That is Total P's. Tell you what, mate, what a drive from you, picking your way through that field. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, it was a scary race, especially with tyres. But both at the end of the stints, I was dying. Especially the last one. I think my tyres were like 82%. I had no grip at all. And Pillars was catching. He took like a second out of me the lap before last. And I was like, oh no. But yeah,
well, you're putting your car in all those right places, of course. You were both clipping apexes those last 2 laps. Pillars was on the hunt. Could you feel him behind you, mate? Felt like it was a bit of a squeaky bum time.
On my neck. I felt his breath on the back of my neck.
It's not the first time you said that either, isn't it?
It's not a nice feeling, I'll tell you that.
That's not what you said the other day.
What? There you go. There's the camaraderie here at Formula 4. It's absolutely all on show for everybody here. But brilliant stuff. I tell you what, mate, drive of the day for you, my friend. Again, well, your results are coming in thick and fast here, and well, another win for you. And well, yeah, very, very entertaining Grand Prix to watch. 15th to first. Hats off,
close
mate.
The gap in this championship.
Hats off. exactly, and that's exactly right. Let's talk about your qualifying session. To be fair, what happened there? Of course, I only caught, but wasn't broadcast. We joined very late, of course, but yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, I've seen you lose the back end there in turn 7. Uncharacteristic effort and mistake from you, and lost the front wheel, and that was your Q2 over, starting P15. Just an error, was that, mate?
I don't even think it's uncharacteristic anymore, man. I do it every week. But, yeah, I took too much
I was
speed
giving you a shot, mate. I was giving you a chance.
Nah, I think I've done it more weeks than I have not.
Fantastic.
But yeah, no, I was just unlucky. Carried too much speed, but it worked out in the end.
Very, very good. Well, congratulations on your win. Phenomenal drive, 15th to 1st. That was Total P's, Infamous Pillars P2, and Chazza, the Geordie Juggernaut, P3. Fantastic Grand Prix. That was Zandvoort here in the Netherlands. That is Formula 4 run and done again for another week, and we hope you can join us next week. Same time, same channel. We'll be back, but thank you very, very much for watching, and that is us. Goodbye here at Formula 4.